Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Why do we fall, Master Platinum Hunter? So we can learn to pick ourselves back up again. Wise words that ring true not only in real life, but in gaming as well. As it is not through winning where we will learn the most, but through failing. An intelligent person will see where they went wrong and strive to improve themselves, so that they do not commit the same mistakes twice. And fail we shall when it comes to trophy hunting, as sometimes we go into a game thinking it will be a piece of cake, only to have the game humble us as we realize that we have bit off more than we can chew. The majority of the time we shall overcome and proclaim to the game, "No, you," as we watch those end credits roll and platinum trophy pop. However, as previously stated, we will be bested now and then during our hunting days, where you give your all, but the game activates that Uno reverse trap card and you are forced to bow out, tail between legs, never to return. Or will you? Seeing as we all love a good sob story, I thought I would revisit some other games that told me to get bent, some more kindly than others. But before we begin, make sure that you're subbed to the channel, hit that like button, and comment what game has bested you recently. Also, I'm on Twitter, so why don't you send me some gamer memes and we can have a good laugh. Psychonauts. Now I've been planning to play this game for some time, as the cult following behind it and the recent sequel have caught my interest. Plus, it's a platformer and I love me some double jumping. Nonetheless, once you've been around the block a few times when it comes to trophy hunting, there are some things that start to annoy the shit out of you. Too many collectibles, defeating a certain boss a certain way, multiplayer trophies, just to name a few. And with Psychonauts, it was the collectibles. Now earlier this year, I platinumed Alan Wake. Video on my channel, go check it out later. And let me tell you, me and Mr. Wake were running up and down a lot looking for those bastards. Alan Wake had over 200 collectibles. Nevertheless, I found the game surprisingly enjoyable and the collectibles weren't bullshitty. Is that a word? Like here in Psychonauts. Let me explain. The Figgy Piggy trophy requires you to collect all figments in the game, and there are between 50 to 100 in each level. Now this is where the game rubs me the wrong way. Not only are these fuckers slightly transparent, making them incredibly hard to see sometimes, the game has to go that little bit further to fuck with you and make some of them fly around the map. Even if one of them is accessible at your current level, you can quite easily miss it, as at that moment it will have flown out the map, literally, where you can't see it and force you to backtrack later on. This kind of gaming mechanic boils my blood and made me close the game. I am all for a challenge, but I feel that this was purposely made to torture trophy hunters and I will have no part in it. They could have gone the Guardians of the Galaxy route and only made it a requirement to collect 60% of the collectibles, but no, they decided it had to be all, knowing that it would irritate players, and that's malicious on their part. Just thinking about this makes me mad, and I don't know if I will come back to this game. Every time I see Psychonaut on my menu screen, I flip it the bird. Death Stranding. Ever fuck up so badly that you just rage quit? Well, that's my story with Death Stranding. When this game came out, it was just before I got into my trophy hunting, so I just played and completed the game as you would normally do and put it on my shelf once done. A few months pass and I'm in my full trophy hunting swing, going through all my games to see what the next one should be. Kojima's game comes across my eyes and I decide to revisit this world of his and go for that platinum. Now Death Stranding has the community divided on if it's a good game or not. All I can say is that I would recommend that you are a Kojima fan before playing this, as it is not for everyone. However, there is no denying that the game is beautiful and the soundtrack is amazing. Look up Church's Death Stranding and BB's theme, music that will give you goosebumps. The story and gameplay are also pretty awesome and out there. But back on track. What happened that made me fail this? Well, the trophy Best Beloved requires you to reach the maximum connection with all facilities. Now this is achieved by completing multiple orders and eventually getting 5 stars for said facility. Now about halfway through the game, I got this massive order for one of the big facilities. So I stole a truck, as you do, to be able to transport it. But it was so much that not all of it could fit on the truck. I then came up with a bright idea that I would haul all of this shit by foot. We can all see where this is going, right? Me, now packed like a mule and moving at a snail's pace, took a misstep and fell. damaging all my cargo and losing some of it to the river. My rage was so sudden and mighty that I switched off my PS4 and went to sulk in the living room. I haven't been back since. Though, unlike Psychonauts, I do eventually want to go back and give it another try. With Death Stranding, patience is a virtue, and trying to do things easy and quick will get you in more trouble than you'd like. One day, Kojima-sama, one day I will return and make you proud. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Another game that came out before my trophy days. I played COD religiously when it dropped. More when we all went into lockdowns for the coof. Every day from 4 to 8 PM, it was me and the boys grinding it out on Team Deathmatch. I almost got the Maker's camo for my guns. God, grinding out kills with the right shield broke me. I had to stop playing for a few days, it was that bad. A few months and 2 controllers later, I uninstalled COD and went on my merry way. One day, one of the trophy hunters in my group, HD, say hi HD if you're watching this, posted that he had just platinumed the game. So I was like, okay, let's fucking do this. I'm going to reinstall COD and go for it. Lol, nope. As several months had passed, the game, which had an already ridiculous gigabyte number to install, had gotten even bigger.
That's what she said.
And it would take literal hours to install. So I was like, yeah, no, I ain't going to put myself through this and have to delete games on my PS4 just to install this monstrosity. The next 2 CODs to be released didn't really catch my eye. I was never a big fan of Black Ops, and Vanguard looked awful. According to the rumors, this year's COD is going to be the remake of Modern Warfare 2, which I hope they don't fuck up, as that is my favorite in the whole series. Fingers crossed. Crash Bandicoot 4. Here is the perfect example of me going into a game thinking that I'm hot shit and getting humbled very, very quickly. I realized that I had bitten off more than I can chew with this game around halfway. The first ever PlayStation game I ever played was Crash Bandicoot 2 for the original PlayStation 1, so I've been a fan of the franchise for a very long time. When the trilogy was remastered, you bet your ass that I bought and replayed all those classics. So when Crash 4 was announced, I couldn't wait. It was going to be a day one purchase for me, and I couldn't wait to brag to my buddies being the first in the group to get the platinum. The game started easily enough, sucking me into a false sense of security, only to jump out when I least expected it and bitch slapped me on the face. As I was starting to advance throughout the levels, I saw that the difficulty, trophy-wise, was getting way out of hand. For those who don't know, you have to collect crystals scattered throughout each level, but there is another collectible, gems. To be able to get these, you have to destroy all boxes in a level. That was just the icing on the cake. Crash 4 throws in you can't die in levels, which if we talk about the box placing in the levels, you're going to die for sure. Then you got to complete the game again, only this time in inverted mode. Then earn platinum on all time trials, the list goes on. This game had me crying in a corner, asking it to stop. I just wanted to platinum the game, not be mentally abused by it. The last level of this game nearly had me in a coma. The breaking point for me was when I reached the snow levels and saw how the game planned to abuse me if I went for all the boxes. I threw in the towel and said fuck it. I'm just going to play it normal and enjoy it. Forget the platinum. But even then, the game was unforgiving. I did however manage to complete the game. I've locked it away where it will never see the light of day again. One of the few games that gave me PTSD. Well, that's enough agony for one video, I think. Any of you mad lads have gotten the platinum for any of these games? If you did, let me know in the comments so I can give you a virtual salute. Don't forget to sub and like. Thanks again for watching, and see you all next time.